Alright, it's been a while since I've done a video. Let me get rid of a couple things here. Anyhow, let's get a little bit of groundwork. We have the King James Version of the Bible that was translated from the Masoretic text and the Septuagint, as well as other places. But this verse here was translated from the Masoretic text. And then we have the Septuagint, which is a later translation, or it's translated from a much older Hebrew manuscript into Greek. And then we have the Dead Sea Scrolls that they found, and I think everybody's heard of them. Well, an interesting thing about this verse here comes to light, especially when you understand that we all existed before we were here. And I know already people are turning this off. Well, that's fine, turn it off, and you don't have to agree with me. That's fine. We existed before we were here. It's that simple. But let's just get to it, and I'm going to show something pretty interesting that comes to light in here. It's the phrase children of Israel, or B'nai Yisrael in the Hebrew. It doesn't agree with the Septuagint or the Dead Sea Scrolls that they found at a much later date, and I think we all know that. Let's just read it. And this is the Song of Moses. That's why this is pretty important. And instead of putting that in your pocket when we overcome the false Christ, because there's no pre-trib rapture, then we're all going to be here, unless we die in the flesh. That's a whole other story. But when we overcome, we are going to be singing the Song of Moses ultimately. And this is the Song of Moses, Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 8. When the Most High, elohiym in the Hebrew, divided the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of man, B'nai Adam, should say children of man, or in my honest opinion, because the two sons of Adam were not the sons of Adam. Cain was the child of the serpent. And I know that's going to upset people too. You can't change the text. You can try. If you have a good enough theological mind, I suppose you can. You can't change the text. It'd be like taking French and it says the dog ran up the hill, but your theology, it wasn't a dog and it wasn't a hill in your theological mind. You can't alter the text. But anyhow, when he separated the B'nai Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. Okay, that's not what the other two translations that we're going to go to read. And I'm going to go right to the fragment of the Dead Sea Scrolls and go from there. Okay, this is the Septuagint translation. And it reads, when the Most High divided the nations, when he separated the sons of man, he set the bounds of the nations according to the number of the angels of God. Now, in the Hebrew, if you broke this back to Hebrew, it would say B'nai elohiym, or the sons of God. And going to Greek, it says the angels of God. See how there's a difference here from the King James Version of the Bible. And it's pretty interesting. And I know that a lot of people like the newer translations, but this video is a perfect example of why we need to stick to the King James and go from there on our own, because I'm not going to rely on somebody's ideas or thoughts about a translation. I'm getting way off track here. So we have the King James saying the children of Israel, okay? And we have the Septuagint saying the angels of God. Let's go to the Dead Sea Scroll fragment here. And I have it circled here. It's a little piece of a fragment. And right there circled is elohiym. And before it is B'nai. B'nai Elohim is sons of God or angels of God, if you would like to call them that. But it's pretty fascinating. See, the King James has it the children of Israel. The Septuagint has it the angels of God or the sons of God, and the Dead Sea Scrolls have it the sons of God. So they match up. And why is this interesting? Because, and I'll go to somebody that translated it. When the Most High, when Elyon gave to the nations, the Goy, their inheritance, when he separated the children of men, it's a better translation in my honest opinion, he set the bounds of the peoples according to the number of the children of God. And children and sons are interchangeable in the Hebrew. And there's no, when the gender is obviously male and female, you can translate it as children. It's really that simple. Well, let's get to the conclusion here. Why is this so important? Because God predetermined all the nations, their inheritance, from above. John 3:3. Just like the Bible tells us, we all existed in spiritual bodies before we were in the flesh. It's that simple. And there are literally hundreds of verses that document that. I don't know how anybody can disagree with it, but the day and age we live in, if you come out with things like you tell people that the serpent had children, they're going to go on YouTube and make 100 videos to try to discredit you. And again, you can't alter the text. Now, is this 100%? I don't know. I think so. You have two different translations that are older that match up perfectly, and then you have the Masoretic text, which is a newer text, so to speak, that doesn't match up. So, and the word for Elohim and the word for Yisrael, Yisrael and Elohim have some of the same letters. So I wonder if maybe they just inserted Israel there because part of it was missing, maybe. I don't know the answer to that, and for what it's worth, and I will say, I'll just conclude that if you have eyes to see and ears to hear, and you know that we existed before we were here, then this is pretty awesome stuff, and I absolutely love this stuff. I wish I could find the files to the Dead Sea Scrolls with the actual text. Again, I had them on my old computer, but I can't find them online, so I think it's on the DSS website, but